Since the launch of 5th edition, we've done a number of stories now, and what I try to do with each story is to take something that has been in D&D lore, that is part of D&D's history and past, and bring it forward.
Not speaking specifically of Dragonlance, but the future of other realms is we're always being very thoughtful about how we bring in other settings or other realms. It is a big connected inner universe. We're always listening to the fans. We know which ones are the most popular, and we intend to be as thoughtful and deliberate about the other settings as we have been with Forgotten Realms.
So in the case of the Giants story, for 5th edition, we found in ancient lore from an old book called Giantcraft, this idea of an ordning. It's sort of like the structure of giant society. And in Storm King's Thunder, the basic story is, well, what happens if that ordning is shattered? And the giants basically have to go out into the world and earn the respect and favor of their gods to create a whole new ordning. And what that does to the small folk of the world when the giants are stomping around doing all kinds of bad stuff.
Every book we release is a challenge because we're always learning something new each time, and we're running into different problems every single time, but we're finding solutions, so we're getting faster and better.
One of the things that you notice right away when you're talking to everyone who is making D&D is that they almost all start out as massive fans of D&D themselves.
My cousin, who was much older, he was like 24, and he and his friends were at the dining room table playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it was the first time that I'd ever seen it played, and they'd been playing for years. And so I just watched over their shoulders and just thought, like, how cool and how crazy it is, all this cool stuff they're doing. And my mind just kept spinning on all the different characters that I wanted to make and all the different cool weapons and magic items they had and how I wanted to do it. And shortly thereafter, I weaseled my way into the table, and my cousin started letting me play with them.
I would basically volunteer and help the magazine staff pour through the magazine submission slush piles and kind of help them clear the decks. And so they got to know me, they kind of got to know my professionalism, and I got to know what they wanted. And eventually, TSR was bought by Wizards of the Coast in 1997, and a position opened up, and one of the first people they thought of was me. So they offered me a job. I came out west, and after fighting with the American border guards to get across, I landed here and have been here for the past 19 and a half years.
Some of I think personally, the most exciting thing about working on these books is kind of the end, when we start, like crunching and we start getting everything together, and it just starts piecing together the art, the layout, the content. Like even as I'm reading through the content itself, when I'm just supposed to be laying everything out, it's just so amazing. And it's such a good feeling because you get this rush, like, I can't wait for everybody to see this, because so much time and effort from everybody inside the building, outside of the building has put into this. And that's the most thrilling part, I think, when we're starting to do that final pass on it, and then Jeremy and Kate are looking it over, and I'm like, yes.
The math of game design is wedded to storytelling, is wedded to art, is wedded to beautiful layout, and it's when all those things come together and are sort of singing together, that's when I get most excited, because that really gets at what's special about D&D, is it's a little bit of all of these things working together, and toss in, people joking around and eating bad snacks, all of that, from sort of the heroic and the highfalutin to the low and the ridiculous. All of that is part of what makes D&D great.
Thanks for watching. I'm Todd Kenreck. You can follow me right here on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and just about everywhere else. Thanks.